transforming our own world. It is the shining of the light from the mind of God into the minds of men, and the love of the heart of God into the hearts of men. So all I ask, in right relations, go within and ask. Be honest. Listen to your own inner guidance. Listen to others. Connect with others from the heart. Sorry, Dave. Have the courage to lift the energy up into the heart. If you're not sure what to do, just go into the silence and ask for help. There is so much help available when you ask. If you're not sure what to do in any given situation, just speak your truth and say, I really don't know what to do in this situation. And it melts anger and it melts disconnection and division. Would you say the Great Invocation with me? And then I'll finish. From the point of light in the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. May light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the centre where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose that the masters know and serve. From the centre we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out. May it seal the door where evil dwells. Let love and light and power restore the plan on earth. Namaste. Questions? Yeah?
Yes, well, thank you, Teresa, for a very beautiful and inspiring talk. We now have some time for questions. Monica has some microphones, so if anyone would raise a hand, Monica will come over and then please posit the question to Teresa. Questions?
I kind of answered them all. Nothing. Good. That's easy.
Absolutely no question.
Yeah.
The microphones are just coming.
Would it be possible for people to have a copy of the Great Invocation? I feel it's so important, but a lot of people don't know it.
You can get a copy of the Great Invocation online if you Google Lucius Trust, which is the trust.
Online.
You're not online. Yes, we can get you a copy of the Great Invocation, I'm sure. No problem. There's a very powerful thing. I say it every day after meditation. It's a very powerful thing to do.
I think there are some Alice Bailey books next door, and it's always included.
In the bookmark. Yes, there's some. If you go and ask next door, the bookmark in Alice Bailey books always has it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm talking without the microphone. I finished just about the Great Invocation.
Okay, what I'd like to know is at what point do you think that children should be involved in proper meditation as adults do it?
The question was, at what point do I think children should be involved in proper meditation as adults do? It's an interesting one because I ask myself this question as a mother of 4 children. I think when they seek to be involved, I don't push any of the stuff I do. In fact, my teenagers talk about it as my weird stuff. Mum, we've not taught your weird stuff when their friends come around. But they know and they see every day the effect of meditation on me. They leave me alone every morning to meditate. Sometimes a twin might pop in if there's something really important like no breakfast. But I have found that interruption in meditation, I've sort of trained myself to just to go back down deep quite quickly again. I think it's what you do when you're a monk. But what I know in my heart is that my children wouldn't have been born to me if they weren't souls that will take up this teaching, their own path at some point, but they wouldn't be my children, if they weren't called to it. It's said it's not till the age of 21 that, for example, our chakra system is mature. Oh, I've gone off. Is mature and reflects where we were in development in a previous incarnation. So I very much leave it when they seek. Now sometimes my little twins, who are 7, who I suppose have had more time with me when I have been further along in my development, they'll sometimes, when I'm meditating, I'll sort of come to and there'll be a twin sitting here in this energy. They love the energy. You probably find that with your animals or your cats. They come and sit on your lap when you're meditating. They love the energy. Sometimes I'll come to a meditation and they're sitting on my bed. So they will come to it when they naturally are drawn to it. My older 2 boys, I'm pretty sure, will come to it when they've got through this teenage bit of rebelling against everything that their mother thinks and believes. And rightly so, they need to establish themselves as their own personalities. So I don't think there's any particular time. Although it was interesting, I went into my son's local high school and they asked me, the sixth formers were getting really stressed. Will you come and do a meditation relaxation just to calm the sixth formers down around their exam time? I said, sure. And by the time they all got themselves in and they were all sort of messing about, I only had about 20 minutes with each of 4 groups. So I did a little bit of sort of yoga-y work to get their energy systems working, and then I got them on the floor, and lots of these, they'd never done a relaxation. They're like, why do we have to lie on the floor? And they were getting quite mouthy. So I got them all on the floor. I just said, look, just be open. And I gave them a 10-minute deep relaxation. And when they left that room, they were in a different place. The calmness, they were still kidding with each other, but there was something tangible that had changed. When I went up to the primary school to pick up my other 2 later that day, a mum came up to me and she said, what did you do today? And I'm like, what did I do? What did you do with the sixth formers today? I said, well, they just had a bit of relaxation. She said, my teenage daughter came home and I saw the beautiful child that she used to be. She said she has not been nice for years. She came home and she was at peace. She said she needs that every day. So, I would love to see meditation in primary schools, even if they just close their eyes for a minute and watch the butterfly inside or some such thing to connect. I would love to see it in high schools. It's going into prisons. I think this will happen. But when they show any kind of inkling, does that answer your question? Sorry, it's a long-winded one.
In the Great Invocation, how do you understand God? And when it brings Christ into it, it makes it rather Christian as opposed to universal. That's
yeah. I often, if I'm using the Great Invocation in a meditation group that's not particularly TS, or a lot of the people coming are not members of the TS or not aware of our teachings, I'll often say to them, the word Christ means the Christ consciousness. It could be the Buddhic consciousness. It's non-denominational. Do you know what I mean? It's a Christian word that we have Christian associations with. But I'll even say to them, the idea that God or love or all that is, Christ was like a man who was developed enough to embody that Christ principle. So I'll often explain that to people so that they don't have a natural bias or judgment with those words. And when I first came across the Great Invocation, I was like, about the words. But now I understand the idea of Christ consciousness more. you talk to people about the heart, about love, about connection, about compassion, and they get it. So it often needs a moment's explanation.
So you would see God like... you would see God as love or God as compassion,
Yeah.
by what you're
I
saying,
actually
yes.
see God as energy, but that's a whole other talk.
Yes, right. At least one, yes.
Yeah, at least one. There's one over here.
We've now reached
Oh.
10:30.
There's
Can
one
we
more.
have one last question then, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
This word renunciation, it obviously means sacrifice as well, isn't it? Does it affect the personality of the person as well? And
Well, the personality doesn't want to renounce its personality desires, its ego. The ego doesn't really want you to transcend it at all. So the renunciation, there is in all of us a resistance, isn't there? We want to hold on to our beliefs, our attitudes, that which separates us, and the ego sort of building up this idea of who I am. So it's a bit scary to give away that idea of who I am from a personality point of view and open up to who you might be from a higher point of view. So there is a renunciation, but what I've found is if the path is gentle and you follow it naturally, it comes to a point where the renunciation is a welcome. It's an absolutely blessed moment.
so it takes a certain amount of sacrifice, in a sense, isn't it?
It does take sacrifice, but that which is gained is far greater than the sacrifice. And I think you start to become aware that that is the case. Yeah.
Agree.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Namaste.
Thank you.